Hey everybody, how are you guys doing today? So excited. I had a great time yesterday. I love seeing the customer avatars and the letters, and I hope I continue seeing some of those. I cannot wait for you guys to get deep dive into today. It's all about personal branding, which is all about you with the tweaks to make you stand out. So I hope you guys are excited. I'm so happy. I cannot wait to share it with you. Let me know any of your aha moments that you guys had from the other day, yesterday, anything that stood out, any tweaks that you've done that you might have seen, if there was any differences at the moment, thinking about your customer avatar when you post. Did that make a difference to your mindset and how you felt your post came across to everybody? So if you wanted to give a quick chat, I have my comments here ready to go for you guys. And I am going to see, I'm going to throw it on my phone again as well, so I can check the comments once I am sharing. If you guys have any questions or any issues or concerns, just let me know. Hey, Kimberly, how are you? Hey. Alrighty, just waiting for my Facebook to show up for me. So that way I want my screen share, because I don't have two monitors because I have a laptop. So that might be something I have to look into for future, because with Streamyard, oh, there we go. I found myself. Perfect. I'm glad. And I'm glad you made it home in time.
Fiona,
1 second. Alexa, off. She always seems to be turning on right now. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to screen share. Anyone feel free to hop on. If you catch the replay, that's good. So oh, where is my PowerPoint? Just 1 second there now. Okay, perfect. All right, I got it there. Awesome. Okay, so what we're learning to do for today is day 2, which is finding you. We were finding your customers yesterday with the customer avatar, and now we're going to be developing our personal brand that is unique to you. So, hi, Janine. For yesterday's recap, the first thing we talked about was the importance of figuring out your specific ideal customer avatar, which the importance of that, sorry, I've been having a bit of issues with this slide, skipping forward. There we go. Focused marketing, not wasting your resources on platforms or people or chasing leads. Better connections with your customers, so that way you actually are speaking to them. They feel that connection. They feel you wanting to help serve them. And higher conversion rates for sales, because you are speaking to people that are aware that there's pain points. You are speaking to their pain points, and everybody wants to solve pain points because no one likes to be struggling. So this allows you to sell more of your product or solution that supports that pain point for them. All right, so common mistakes when doing your ideal customer avatar is, hey Joy, hey Rachel, how are you guys doing? Hey Rebecca. All right. Sorry, I'm not sure why this screen, it takes a little bit of a delay popping up for my, there we go. So common mistakes we make is being too vague. We're doing the jack of all trades, master of none, because we're too busy talking about everything and doing too much stuff. So it's really noisy and our customers are confused. We are wasting resources, and energy is included in that resource. Our time is very valuable. How much energy and effort we put in is very valuable. So we're not even talking about monetary, wasting any type of resources when you don't know who you're wanting to attract. And lack of quality engagement and emotional connections. So by not being able to speak directly to people, it's very hard to get that emotional connection. It's hard to get them to constantly comment. So you might get a couple of likes every now and again. I know Kimberly asked about algorithms yesterday. So this kind of relates a lot of that as well. So Facebook is really pushing the comments, and they're really pushing that engagement portion of it. So as soon as you post something, be there to respond to someone responding. Showing to you, as well as anything that they engage with in the past, then those posts are going to show up more often as well. So if, for example, self-love, if the person is responding and commenting to posts about motivation and self-love, they're more likely going to see those on their screens. So if you're talking about motivation and all that stuff, it's going to have a better chance of coming onto their screen versus you talking about puppies. Right, so something to be aware of. And again, if we have a list of people that we want to support and a list of people that we know are valuable and our audience and our customers, we can comment on their posts, and then that engagement allows yours to come up as well. All right, and not being aware of who is not your customer. So again, we know the people who are our customers, we know the people we want to speak to, but we also need to know who the people are not for our customers, so we're not chasing those people. And when we recognize that someone that we're speaking to is someone that's not our customer, we can kind of help support them whatever they need, but we're not going to put as much energy and effort into them because it's not going to go anywhere. All right, and questions to help you create your ideal customer avatar, which is always changing, always tweaking, because the journeys change, your journey changes. Your demographics, which is the ages, genders, locations, their education levels. Psychographics, which is your goals and like your behaviors and your personality and your values. Behaviors. Pain points, which again is one of the things we really want to highlight and focus, because that's what we're doing, is we're serving to them and we're solving their pain points and their problems and helping with their struggles. And goals and aspirations, as well as communication styles. So if someone likes newsletters or blogs versus videos, anything like that would be how we would communicate differently to them. So again, because this one is about finding you, I want to make sure that you're aware, and this is a reason why I called my challenge You Are Enough, because you are enough. You are enough for your business. You are enough for you. You are enough to attract these people. They will find you and they will come to you. You don't need to go after every shiny item. You need to optimize yourself. All right. So I wanted to kind of go through a bit of an affirmation as well. And you can think about this anytime you send off, make a post, anytime you make a comment, anytime you make an exchange, or you message people after saying it's okay to respond to them. Every interaction is an opportunity to showcase my passion and expertise. I am consistently true to my brand, and it shines brightly in all that I do. All right, so if you want to screenshot this, come back to it, or if you have something that's related as an affirmation to help support you, if you say this every time before sending a message, then this passion is going to show through on your messages. Their customers are going to feel your energy and they're going to listen a lot better. So every interaction is an opportunity to showcase my passion and expertise. I am consistently true to my brand, and it shines brightly in all that I do. All right, so what you will learn today is the importance of personal branding for you and your business. There's a lot of common themes in this, by the way. Common mistakes people make when developing their personal branding, understanding who you are as a person and how to make yourself stand out. Creating your unique value proposition and brand statement. Real life examples of people and celebrities who created their brands. And actions you can take to help create your brand to stand out. Alrighty. So the importance of personal branding. Your personality is your business card, right? So what it does is it helps build trust, credibility, and consistency. So by being consistent with your pictures, it's easier for people to recognize you, even if you're going across multiple platforms. Like when you first start, I would stick with one or two, just again, to start small, build forward. But as you add additional platforms and you start to build, you'll get more credibility by keeping everything consistent. And plus it's easier for people to trust you when you have a clear, direct message that you're giving to them. Right? So it helps to establish trust and credibility with your audience and being the person they turn to. It helps to stay consistent with your posts across the platforms, and you become known for your brand and recognized, which helps to foster long-term relationships and scale your business. So very often we get known for one thing, maybe potentially a couple of things, but really known for one thing. So we want to be able, we have that opportunity to create that brand and create what we want to be known for to everyone else. Right? And it helps with scaling your business as well. Okay, and you can showcase your unique value as well as being able to network with others. So your brand becomes your platform and showcases how you can bring value to other people. It allows you to stand out in a crowded market. And not only, like, for example, I know with Kristen, She does Modere. I have doTERRA, which they have a lot of health and wellness and nutrition. So they both have nutritional products, and they are different items, but a lot of the customers are going to be very similar with like minds and sets and everything like that. So, and also if you're competing with your own uplines, cross lines, because I've gone into vendor shows where I've engaged with people and I've spoke to them and I've sampled them, and later I find out that they've been sampled by my downline, upline, or crossline people as well. So you're not only competing against other companies and other products, you're competing against other representatives for the same products that you're selling. So you have to stand out. You have to get people to choose you and not choose them. So that's what personal branding helps with that. So, and it also makes it easier to network and have opportunities to gain customers, team members, speak at summits, work with brands, or guest star on podcasts. Your brand clearly shows your values and what expertise you bring. So you're building your trust and credibility with your customers and your audience, but you're also building it with other people that you might have the opportunity to guest speak with, or have them interested in joining you for business because they like how you do your business and they like how you are authentic and real and stand out. All right, so greater control over narrative. So this is one of the differences that we have the ability over versus celebrities, and I'll talk a bit more into that, but we have the control over the narrative that we wish to create. So we can choose what we want to be known for. We get to choose how we want to come across. We get to choose the colors. We get to choose everything we speak about. So we really do get to become this persona, right? So developing your brand gives you the power to control the narrative around who you are. People learn what you stand for and your values. You attract like-minded people who will become your tribe, community, followers, sharers, builders. I didn't add those parts on, but they become your partners in your business. Right? And it empowers you and creates loyalty. So it encourages personal development to learn who you are as a person, and it will always change as you grow. So who you were last week, a month ago, a year ago, multiple years ago is a different person than you are right now, especially as you're going through and you're learning about your customers and you're learning about who you are and what you like or don't like and how you do your business. Things change. External influences come into our lives, and that changes us as well. And as I mentioned before, with kids, as they grow, the way we handle that changes, and it changes us too, right? So we're constantly changing, and it allows for personal development. It empowers you to voice your opinions and share your knowledge and have a positive impact on the world. And then customers will stay loyal to a brand they feel a personal connection with. So again, if you can create that connection, and I've had Kimmy comment to me before that she knows me as a person. We worked together before, and she trusted what I was sharing, and she trusted the knowledge that I knew, and that I was coming from a place of helping, and that I wanted to get the best for everybody and not just be greedy or about me or about sales or what my targets are, but it was about like helping the person. So when she had decided that she was ready to try the products I was offering, she came to me instead of other people that she potentially could have gone to, because it created that loyalty and that trust and knowledge and likability. All right, so common mistakes that people make when creating their brand is they're not learning who they are as a person. So the biggest thing is you want to be authentic. You want to make sure that you know who you are. And as I mentioned, we're always changing, and there's always something different. And once we learn to do something better, we can do better. So I'm not saying that the person you are at this moment that we're having this conversation is going to be the same person that you will always be, but you need to know who you are, because it really does impact a lot of things in your life and explains why a lot of things are the way they are for you. Right? Only focusing on what their customers want to see and not only themselves. When I first started doing this branding, I knew I wanted to emphasize a lot of self-love. So I went with a lot of bright pink colors, bright blue colors, and I was trying to use those, but I realized that wasn't necessarily me. The darker colors that you see in this background, the shiny, sparkly parts of it, that's me. I prefer black, but I went with blue. So that is something that I really do focus a lot on. And I changed my style to match more to me, not just what I wanted, the impression I wanted to give to customers. And it's okay to tweak. I'm still working on tweaking my stuff. So copying other personal brands. So it's okay to be influenced and to see what's working from other people. But again, you want to stand out. So if you become twinning with someone else, what's making you stand out? It just makes you look like you're potentially the person that you're copying, and it gets very confusing for your customers. So you might like something and you might be resonated with what someone does, but make sure you put your own spin on it. Same thing with a lot of video reels. So when we talk about content, I know, like, I'll watch TikTok and I'm like, oh, that's really funny. And I really like that someone came up with this idea. And then you'll scroll down through a couple of reels and then all of a sudden you see someone else doing the exact same thing, right? So people want to do stuff that's trending. People want to jump on the audio. They want to follow in the steps of other people before them, because again, you want to piggyback off audience, but put a twist to it. Make it you. Do something different that makes you stand out as part of that. Right? Ignoring feedback from your audience and what they interact with. So whether it's negative feedback, positive feedback, any opportunities, anything at all, we don't want to ignore it, because we want to know why someone's reacting that way and see if it's something we could tweak or change, or maybe we don't have the right place. So we want to be able to interact to make sure we're giving the right information for them, whether it has the correct clarity, or maybe they're not resonating with a certain thing, as well as just being aware of when people are engaging and what time your audience is on. So everybody's audience is going to be in a different area. Like, I'm more in the West, so my audience is probably at a different time versus some of the other people that you might be speaking to. So again, really find out where and when your people are responding. If you're posting at night and you get a lot of interactions, continue posting at night. If you're posting it in the morning and you get nothing, I would recommend not doing it then, because you want to do it when your customers are there, because that's actually one of the factors in the algorithms as well, is posting when people are on, because then you get that quick engagement, you get that quick comments, and you get more visibility. And trying to be too perfect when you need to be authentic and unique. So a lot of people are afraid of sharing videos. They're afraid of being on, showing their face, speaking to people, and worried about how they look, because they want to be perfect and they're afraid that they can't do it good enough, and then they don't do it. But the biggest thing is to be authentic. If you mix up your words, if you make mistakes, or if something happens, that's okay, because you're more relatable to people in that sense. You're not kind of held on a pedestal or anything. And it does make you unique, right? Because as soon as you're authentic, there's only one you in this world. Even if you're a twin or a triplet, or you have the same DNA, there's still just one you, because there's going to be, your experiences are going to be different. Your personality is going to be different. And all of that comes in to be one person. So you want to stay authentic and don't worry about perfection. And not remaining consistent. So this is one of the parts that I'm working on, because I'm still working on mine, as well as I was creating a lot of this stuff, and I was definitely not as consistent. And I think I mentioned it yesterday, my visibility with my algorithms did drop when I stopped being consistent and I stopped posting at the same time, or not showing up the way I was before. So it really makes a difference. If you create a schedule for yourself and you don't stick to that schedule, Facebook is aware of it. So you don't have to post every day. You don't have to post multiple times a day. If you post once or twice a week, that's fine, as long as you're consistent with the posting. All right, so who you are. So before you knowing what your personal brand is, you have to know who you are and what you value. Because again, you are going to do a lot better if you know who you are. If you're still figuring out who you are, because that's part of the game and part of life, that's okay. Do the best that you can and just continue moving forward. So one of the biggest things is your core values. What's important to you? So core values are the fundamental beliefs and principles and ideas that a person adheres to. It influences the way you behave, as well as influences your actions, and it helps you to be authentic and make your business sustainable. So if you are using your core values at the heart of your business and you're focused on that, it's a lot easier to stay authentic. It's a lot easier to stay consistent, and you will start to bring in people with the same values, and that will be your team, and that will be your customers, and it'll be a lot easier to sustain that loyalty. If you come on, like, if you're not a very bubbly, happy person and you create that brand for yourself, I mean, it's going to be a lot more tiring and a lot more effort and a lot more work for you to consistently do the same thing. So you're going to be struggling with being always bubbly, always perfect over whatever it is on all your videos and all your posts and all your comments. If that's naturally you, that's perfect. You're going to shine through with that. But if you're not, and you're more of a kind of quiet, introvert, laid back, educational type of person, and that bubbliness isn't there, forcing it is going to cause you to stop and burn out a lot faster. So you really want to stay focused. And I probably went a bit ahead for that part of it. But again, stay true to your values. Your personal experience as well. You cannot discount any personal experiences, because especially related to your product, but related to you and why people should trust you, what you really enjoy and what you bring to the table, because there's not a single person with the exact same experience as you. If someone was on the same subway as you guys all had a different experience of that subway, right? Because again, your perception is different, your thoughts of what you feel about the subway, the spot you were sitting in, right? So everyone has 100% their own experience. And your story is special and unique. That's you. It's your life. It's your biases. It's your perceptions. It's shaped by who you are, and it makes you you. And you reflect on key moments in your life and how they shaped you and how they will help your customer. So if you're someone, for example, I know I struggled with self-love and I struggled with a lot of that parts of it. So it's easier for me to connect with my audience because I can empathize with where they are sitting in their pain and how hard it is to kind of change your mindset and to be able to speak the right way, because I've been in there. It's my personal experience. It's what I went through as a teenager and a young adult, and what I sometimes still struggle with. So it makes it easier. Same thing with our business, like if we're trying to talk to people and tell them how our products are going to be able to support them, if we haven't gone through that experience and been where they're too with their pain points, it's going to be a lot harder to know how you can help support them. In your academic and work experience, so any of your work, leverage any skills you acquired through your education and your work, because it is going to be different. And even if it's not necessarily related to this, I love merchandising. It's work for a retail position, but that allows me to learn how to make things look better and easier and have a different mindset. So I can use it on an online business. Even if it's a minimum wage job, you would have learned something to help you. So whether it taught you to stick to a schedule, it taught you to finish tasks, anything whatsoever, you can learn from something and share that with others. And reflect on how these experiences shaped you into the person you are today. So a lot of self-reflection to do, finding out who you are. All right, and personality quizzes. So one of the things I want to say is don't get stuck on doing a whole bunch of personality quizzes and going through all of them to see what works for you, but just pick a couple. If you've got some downtime and you're curious about different things, go ahead. There's a lot of different personality quizzes out there. There are some that you can pay for. The ones that you pay for do have better value and quality to it, because there is a lot that you can just grab that's quick, small items. So some of the ones that are personality quizzes are Clifton Strengths, the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, the DISCs, which is the Dominance, Introvert, and I'm sorry, I can't remember what the other ones are at the moment, Personality Assessment, Denise's Sacred Money Type Archetypes, Enneagrams, the Colby A Index, your Color Code personality tests, and the Big 5 personality tests. So I'm not going to go through all of these in details right now, but there are different ones that you can kind of talk about. So some of them will tell you how you react with your personality. Some of them will tell you if you're extrovert, introvert, a lot of different ways. And it shapes how you work. So again, knowing your brand, knowing if you're going to be consistent and everything like that. Like I did the strengths quiz, and my top 5 is strategy from number 1, arranging related to merchandising for number 2, communication, which was number 3, includer, which is number 4, and input, which is number 5. So input, I always love giving my opinion and helping support people. And with the strategy being number 1, I get to see a lot of big pictures and kind of connect a lot of dots together that most people don't see. And then I like to communicate and help people and want to make sure everybody's included and involved in feeling special, right? So that's the type of person I am. And I do feel that comes out to my business. And one other quick thing, once we build personal businesses, as our business develops and grows, you might find it takes on its own personality, right? So again, I might be like good for communication and inputting things and including people, but my business could change and develop into something that's slightly different. And that's okay. It's okay for your brands your business to have its own brand, but you start with your personal and you build forward. All right. And your hobbies and interests are also very key because, again, hi, Kelly. Again, it's very important to make sure that you are who you are. So what interests you and what hobbies you have will relate to a lot of what your personal branding is, right? So what can you spend hours discussing? What is an interest to you? Like, I love riding, I love horses, and I love sharing that, and the energy and helping really makes a difference. And I'll find people that resonate with that, and people who like horses have a tendency to like other things that you like as well. Right. So some of the hobbies you enjoy doing, so you can share those as well. Those items are also part of your brand, and you should be part of the personal side of your content. So we'll talk more about the content tomorrow. Yes, Kimberly, I love the personality tests. I did a couple of them while I was doing up this presentation, and I didn't think to go back through some of them, but it did show that I was 50% introverted, like 52% introvert, 48% extrovert. So I guess depends on situations and stuff like that. So yeah, like all of this stuff makes you. Journal, reflection, meditation, art. These are all different ways of expressing yourself and to learn who you are. So self-reflect by meditating, journaling, or expressing your thoughts through art, whether it's painting, writing, music, statues, anything you can think of. So take time to be alone with yourself, meditate and see what comes up, write it down, do a brain dump. We can't know who we are if we spend all our time with other people. So I know sometimes it's a bit challenging when you're in a family, you have kids that are needing time with you. You need to block off time to yourself. Not only does that allow you to recharge your energy, recharge your battery, and have a more full cup, it helps you to reflect on who you are. Because you as a mom is a completely different as you as a person by yourself. Right? And you want to be able to encompass everything about who you are. If your business is related to being a mom, then encompass that character, right? That person. I am what my kids are, right? Exactly. But, you could be a person as well. So the personality quizzes will probably teach you who you are. You might be surprised by some of the responses, and some of the things might be kind of like, aha, and it'd be really cool to find out. But yeah, like take time. If you can't do it every day, start with small things, start with a couple minutes, build up, definitely take some time at least once a week just to kind of rejuvenate and find out who you are. I need to find myself again. Yes, 100%. It's very easy for us to lose track of ourselves because I remember hearing before someone's just like, oh, they're like, I like your personality. It's like, oh, that's great because that's who you made me. So we do have a tendency to respond to people based on our perception of them or what we think they think of us. So what our kids want, we become a different person for our kids. Like usually it's discipline or nurturing or whatever the case is. When you're at work, you're a different person. When you're with your friends that really lift you up and they support you, you're a different person. And then if you're with someone that you're supporting them, you're a different person as well, right? So we play a lot of roles and it becomes who we are. So it's good to have time by yourself to really find out who you are for you with no external influences on you. All right. And mind mapping, I haven't tried this. I found it very interesting, but visually mapping out your mind. I'm a little scared as an ADHD person. My mind is not congruent. There is no lines. I probably have a bunch of swirls and craziness going on, and I've got like thousands of things connecting dots all over and crisscrossing and a bunch of rabbit holes. But, it can help. Hi, Diane. It can help you find out who you are and figure out what you like, your dislikes, your strengths, your weaknesses, right? So some people need to visually, I said. The older, Kimberly saying, the older I get, the more multifaceted I find out I am. Exactly, right? We're not linear. There's so much to us. Everybody is so deep and there's everything. And it's interesting because we are like this as people, but our customers and our audience are the same way, and everybody we interact with, right? So I always try to be nice and caring and realize that there's a lot of different scenarios and situations that we don't know about. All right, and organize your thoughts and identify patterns. My pattern is crazy. So this is probably not something that will work for me, and that's okay. So all of these are different ways that you can learn who you are. If it doesn't resonate with you, don't worry about it. just do something that does resonate with you. Because again, we're all different people and we all react differently to stuff. All right, and a personal SWOT analysis. So the SWOT analysis, so Kimberly, I have ADHD too. Maybe we can chat privately. Yeah, absolutely. I know Kelly, I don't know if she's still here. She popped on. She's my partner. She's going to be talking with me tomorrow. So she kind of helps keep me in a row and organized as well. So it's good. And then I have one person at work that does the same thing to me. As soon as she sees me, she'll be like, what are you doing? Are you focused on this? Let's get forward, right? So there's support systems to help. So the SWOT method is your strengths, which is your positive attributes, your unique skills that you bring to you and your brand. Weaknesses, so negative attributes, areas of improvement. So I know my time management and my organization and all of that stuff is my area of improvement. I have support to help me with that. And I mean, I might change. I hope I do. I'm really working on it, but it may not be something that's ever going to be my strong suit. And that's okay, because I love talking. I love communicating. I love sharing. So those are my strengths. And that's what I will focus a lot more of my energy and effort on. And I'll let someone else help with the organization and all the other tasks. And opportunities are more external factors and emerging trends, right? So what is changing? What algorithms are changing? What do we want to do? So a lot of the trends are going to short videos and reels. So obviously that is an opportunity that a lot of us need to like kind of get into to get it visible in front of people. And Kelly says, knowing and accepting our weaknesses is the first step to improving and thriving. Exactly, right? Like, they're nothing to be ashamed of. And I know a lot of times we hide our weaknesses because we feel like we shouldn't be. We have to give this strong persona. But, you know, if you embrace your weaknesses and learn to do better with them, or learn to say, well, what do I do differently? What helps me? So, I mean, there's strengths to having ADHD. Like, you're very focused when you like something and you can get really into it. You're very good at, I wouldn't say multitasking so much, but you're very good at doing like a lot of different things and having high energy and accomplishing things really fast and being creative, right? So you do get distracted very easily. You forget stuff, but there's goods and strong strengths. So it's depending on what you focus on. Right. And then threats pose challenges or competitors, things that are on the outside of our brand that might interfere with the brand. Right. So if you can provide, it can provide you with a strategic personal development and to allow you to analyze your personal brand, and it helps foster self-awareness. Right. So knowing all of this as who you are as a person will help you with knowing who you are for your brand and help you to stay consistent. Right. So if I were to force myself to talk about time management and content and all that stuff on a regular basis, I'm probably going to struggle and I'm going to burn out a lot faster. Whereas if I have Kelly, who's amazing and helps me with my content, it does help with getting me completed and doing the tasks that I need. All right. And it could benefit you to do this often and do it with your customer avatar as well. So you could do the SWOT analysis on your customer avatar to know who your pain point is. And do it when you're changing, when your brand changes, when you learn more and you improve more, you can keep changing all of that. All right, so some elements to help you stand out. So we kind of talked about who you are, how to find out who you are, and we know who our target audience is. But again, we want to stand out in the crowd. We want people to say, oh, I recognize these colors. Like if you think of green, like Starbucks, for example, right, Kimberly? And that's one of the things that I actually love about doing the attraction marketing is you're attracting your audience, but you're also attracting people that would want to work with you. And you're going to attract the people that can help balance for those strengths as well. So it was working really well, and I attracted and I got Kelly to help support me. And we're working on the business together. So we both bring our strengths to the table and we both do what we are strong at. And we, so it's great. So, I mean, it helps you to stand out, and you'll do the same thing with your team. So you don't have to grab every single person that wants to build a business with you, but you would grab the people that will support you, help where at your weaknesses and where you have your strengths, right? So it's really great to be able to pick a team that is going to really succeed together as a whole. All right. So for this part here, again, start with something and tweak it and change it and see what resonates with you, what resonates with your audience, what's authentic, what feels good, what doesn't feel good, but don't take a lot of time doing it. I started with a really bright pink and bright blue with a lot of white, and I was kind of changing everything. So now a lot of my pictures actually have this same backdrop as this PowerPoint that I'm doing, because I felt like it was more me and it felt closer to what I like. So we want to be able to tweak and keep going until you find something that settles with you. And just do something and start and tweak. When you first start your business, you have a lot of your family and friends that are watching and doing the posts and commenting, and they're very forgiving. So it would be different if you had like a celebrity that had millions of people watching you. You change something, the audience is a lot less forgiving. All right, so visual imagery. So your color palette will be dark and mysterious, light and caring, luxurious. I used ChatGPT earlier to go through like what the different colors are. So I know a lot of what the different colors stand for. Like red is passion and energy. Black is usually luxury. Purple for royalty and money. Green is more trusting. Blue is good for calming, right? So there's a lot of different nuances that we use for different colors. And when people share those colors, like yellow is usually bright optimism, orange creativity. So we become that energy kind of becomes our brand. So if you're more of a quiet, introverted person, you're probably not going to go more with the yellow or orange, because those are more bright and shining and standing out. You could, but again, you want to be something that's consistent to you and what resonates with you and what your customers respond to as well. Right? But it's not about your customers. Fonts as well. Is it elegant? Is it funny? Is it quirky? Well, there's a lot of different styles and some different images or elements. I have a couple of elements on some of my graphics. They're like geometric. They're like a lot of like nice little circles. So a lot of those different images as well will help support us. Right. So if you add them into it, and again, one of the biggest things for images that a lot of people miss, and I did too, I recreated the banner for my Facebook group because I wanted to change my name so that I can kind of encompass everything that I want to do. And I shared my cover to my team, and Amanda was like, well, this would be great if you were in the pictures. Right. So again, personal branding, I didn't put myself in the picture. So then I was like, oh, okay. So I picked myself as the business side of that banner and I put myself into it. So, and I added myself into some of these graphics and stuff as well. So you want to put yourself out there as much as you can, because people seeing you also gets you to build your likability and your credibility and your trust, because they see you, you're there in your pictures and they can see you consistently there. I know there's some people that have done businesses, and I'm not going to say that you have to be there all the time. If it's shy and something you're not afraid of, there are some new AI programs that allow you to do video without it. And there's a couple of people, I know there's one person on my Instagram, she's got 1 million followers and she's never shown her face on Instagram and social media. So it's not saying that you have to, but it really helps to help support you. Yes. So like Kelly was saying, if you're not sure what your style is, look for inspiration online, look at what your competitors are doing, look at what stands out for you. Go to like a lot of color boards. Like if you're on, I love Instagram because it's very easy to check someone's profile and see what colors and what they do and what really looks nice. And again, pick and choose what works for you, what you like. Don't copy exactly 100% what they do, but find your unique style that matches you. And you can tweak it and change it whenever you decide to. So your narrative, right? Your brand story that tells the journey of your brand. So again, we don't want, stories are huge. People connect a lot emotionally. Yes, Kimberly, perfect. Pinterest. I don't use Pinterest very often, so it is not something that I think about, but yes, you are 100% right. Pinterest is incredible to be able to see different boards and stuff like that. So your personal stories, everybody connects with stories, and it's that emotional connection, and you remember stories, right? So you're going to remember your fairy tales. You're going to remember that story from when you were younger, and like your grandparents are like, oh, you know, back when I was young, and they're telling a story, right? That's more memorable than some of the just spouting facts and stuff like that. And how you came up with the idea and the struggles you overcame. So successful stories as well for your brand and your business, and how your pain points and how you helped support those and develop it. And your mission statement that declares your brand's goals and purpose. So we'll talk about that as well. But again, making sure people know your value and the purpose of your business will help support you to get your audience and know that like authority and stuff. So I did kind of touch on this part a little bit as well, which is your voice and tone. So is your brand spunky? Like I was talking about that bubbly side of it. Do you mind cursing? So some people are totally against cursing. They do not like hearing cursing. So they're going to be like shut off right away as soon as they hear that cursing and stuff like that. But other people are like, oh, whatever, I don't care, right? Are you formal, casual, dry humor, witty, informative, intellectual, positive, supportive, bubbly, introverted, quiet? You know, some people get away with like being very quiet. I know some reels, that's the way they are. So that's who they became. That's what they got known for. So just what comes across to people, right? Positive, negative, whatever it is. It should be similar to yours and one that you can authentically do and be consistent on each platform. So messages should match your brand values, right? So again, if you're not normally a bubbly person, like I had a friend that's a kindergarten teacher, and I mean, I could tell she was a kindergarten teacher. Her personality, her attitude, like even speaking to me when I used to hang out with her was very much like a kindergarten teacher. So you wouldn't want someone who's like a chemist or a chemistry teacher being with the kindergarten people, right? Because they need that personality that needs to come through. So same thing with our businesses. We don't want to force ourselves to be something that we're not. So if it doesn't resonate with you, don't do it. Even if someone else is doing a really amazing job, but if that's that person and that's who they are and that's who they branded as, that's going to work for them. It's not necessarily going to work for you. You trying to copy that person is going to burn you out, and it's going to make people not believe you. And then you're going to keep changing and tweaking, and then you're going to lose your audience as well, right? Because you're not consistent. Yeah. Your voice. So Kimberly is saying that struggle with being on that they struggle with being on video, but yeah, you can record your voice. So we've done that a couple of times with Reels where you're doing actions and then you just record your voice over it as opposed to speaking with it too. And I know there's some AI programs out there now that help with recording. And I think they kind of model off of your voice as well. So then you can use that to speak instead of you speaking specifically. All right, your unique selling point. So again, we all have companies and we all have people that do the company as well, but we want to stand out. So we need to see what our unique selling point is, right? So what makes yours unique compared to your competitors? And your competitors could be your customers who think they could do the same thing you're doing, or it could be your customers who don't realize that they need your support and your solutions, or your upline, your crossline, or anyone else that's not even in your line, but it's in the same company. All right. And what makes you stand out compared to other network marketers in your business, right? So what makes you special and what makes you stand out versus the other handful of people that are going to do sell the same products that you're selling? And what makes your method successful versus ones that customers have tried and failed at? So why is your product and solution a better solution for you? Sorry, 1 second. I'm just going to put essential oil to help with breathing. So what makes your method successful versus other ones that your customers have tried and failed? So what makes your product special that's going to really help them when they've tried something else that didn't necessarily work? Right. So the 100 names list, cold messaging, people chasing leads, going after people that are not interested. What will make this attraction marketing easier and better versus doing those things? Right. And customer experience and engagement. What type of customer experience are you providing to your customers? What platforms for social media? If it's videos, are you educational, inspirational, entertaining? You've got the people that they do focus a lot on entertainment. I know there's one couple, the girlfriend, she does a lot of transitions. The boyfriend does a lot of singing stuff. They're both in each other's social media and they're influencing, but they got two distinct personalities and two distinct brands that they don't copy and overlap each other, but they're inside of each other supporting them, right? What type of communication are you doing to help support them through your solution? So are you doing like the emails? Are you doing messages, talking to them, DMs, posts? How are you engaging with them to build loyalty and trust? So again, that's part of your brand as well. How often are you going to be messaging them? Are you going to be sending out emails? Are you going to do videos? Are you going to support them in person? If they're local to you, if you're online doing the business, how are you going to help support them as well, like through Zoom or anything like that? So a lot of these things are related to helping you stand out, right? Because your experience and what you do to support your customers will make you stand out versus someone just giving them or buying a product for them. And who are you collaborating with to expand your reach? So again, we want to make sure we're networking and we're talking to people, getting into groups and talking to other people that are like-minded, other people that are doing similar things. So in a couple months' time, I'm going to be doing a summit where I'm going to be talking about attraction marketing as well as self-love, but I'm going to be doing it with other experts as well. So I'll be collaborating with them to create a bigger audience for all of us to be able to speak to those people. Right. So we borrow the audience of other people and we borrow the audience in other people's Facebook groups. So I can talk a little bit about that. I'm in one group because, again, for self-love, for coaching, I want to be able to build my authority and have people reach out to me and go to the people that are struggling, who have pain points. So I found a group online that's for mental health wellness. They have a group of 155,000 people, and it's very often that people are commenting in there. And I go in there and I'm like, well, have you done self-care? Have you done this? Have you tried affirmations? And I'm giving them value by not taking anything back in return. I'm giving more. So I'm building my authority in that group by commenting to them. So that way they can kind of come out, check my profile, see what I'm about. And if they're interested, they can reach out to me for more support. But I'm going to be 100% supporting them in there without asking for anything in return. And that's borrowing other people's audience and kind of collaborating, or networking, I should say. So sustainability, right? So again, for sustainability, are your products and services and solutions sustainable? Can they continue forward? Is your brand sustainable? Oh, there we go. Sorry. Is your brand sustainable to allow you to be consistent when you're scaling? So if you start off with a small business and you grow your team, you grow your customers, is what you're doing. And like, again, if you're someone who can post every single day and you feel comfortable doing that, yes, continue, because you're going to have to continually post every single day to be consistent. If you feel like that's too much and you can't sustain that in the long run, then stick to like less dates. I mean, you can change and tell the people that you're changing, or tell people you're taking time off or you're going on vacation or whatever the case is. You can 100% do that, but you don't want to be like 1 week doing 7 posts, another week doing 2, another week doing 7 again. You want to be consistent and you want to be aware of that sustainability and look ahead to the future of what you want for your business. Right? So that's all part of your brand as well. And is it easy to have others duplicate and do the same thing? So if you've got this really hard system in place and it's very complicated and will overwhelm people when they're trying to do it, then you're going to have a harder time getting your team to do the support and not to necessarily struggle. So that is something we want to be mindful of as well as the systems you're doing, if it's easy for someone to do the same thing. And again, if we make it about you, then they're not going to duplicate who you are, but they'll duplicate who they are, and they'll find their own unique selling points and why people should work with them. Right? And then how you guys work together in your business. So content strategy, we will go through a lot more of this in depth for tomorrow because it's such a big thing. What types of content will you be sharing to provide value to your customers? How frequently will you be posting? What are your content pillars? And we'll go into details about those tomorrow. And the last one we're going to talk about is innovation. So how often will you be sharing and updating your products and services? So a lot of times for network marketing, we have our company that gives us the new products and they are constantly upgrading and changing. So we want to be able to make sure that we update and change as well and go along with the trends. And again, if you start with one product and you build up and out, you could always change what you're starting with. What types of systems and tools will you have in place to make it easier for your customers to connect and buy? So we'll go through systems and tools in a couple of days' time on Friday to be able to assist with that. And what forms of passive income would you like to incorporate into your business? So again, a lot of times for us, especially for network marketing, depending on what type of network marketing you're doing, a lot of it is you sell a product, you get your commission. But if you figure out a way of doing passive income where like if you create a course or you create something, if they were to pay into that, I know for coaching, it's really easy to be able to create like ebooks, create checklists, and then you can sell those as well as options. So again, something you can kind of think, refine, tweak to be able to make some more money besides just focusing on the network marketing side of it. Okay, so I wanted to kind of break down our unique value proposition and our brand statement. I know I'm going a little bit longer, but we'll try to get through a lot of this a bit more quicker. So a clear statement that describes the unique value your brand and product or service can offer to help your customers' needs and see what sets them apart from the crowd. So identify through self-assessment. So everything we've already talked about, your unique skills and strengths, your experiences, your personal experiences. So again, a lot of your unique value proposition is who you are and what we've already talked about, your values, especially your core values. Your market research, what your competition is doing. Identify their gaps. If they're missing something and there's something that customers are not happy with related to your competition, identify it and fix that for your unique solution. What the current trends are, reels again. Emerging needs that you can support. So what are some needs that are coming up? So again, if before we had smartphones, we didn't know we needed smartphones, and now we didn't know we needed all these other things and tasks and stuff, right? So always be aware of that and try to get ahead of it to be the first person to offer that to customers. Customer insights, feedback, gather feedback from existing customers, do reviews, get reviews from your customers, especially negative. Make sure you understand why they're not happy and see what you can do to solve that. Testimonials, find out what your customers and clients are saying. Crafting your statement, keep it clear and concise. Make sure there's no confusion. Highlight the benefits, not just the features. So what benefit you're offering, what benefit is your solution doing, right? So that's a really big thing, is you want to be able to give them the benefit of how their business will do a lot better when they have people coming to them, how they'll be able to cook a lot better if they've got the pressure cooker, for example, to help do that, and then give them more family time, right? So the benefit is more family time while they're cooking. And make it about the customer and addressing their pain points. Should be authentic and something you are passionate about. If you're not passionate, it's not going to come through, and you're going to come off across more salesy versus serving and helping support your customers. All right, so tap into secrets of the trade that others take time to learn. So from carving out a customer avatar that's more you to personal branding that resonates. Oh, sorry, this is a unique value proposition that I came out with for attraction marketing. For attraction marketing, for example, will be tapping into secrets of the trade that others took time to learn, from carving out a customer avatar that's more you to personal branding that resonates, and building meaningful relationships through compelling content. Equip yourself with systems and tools that are not just about scaling, but sensible, sustainable growth. Right. So, and beyond theories, we grant you the methods to automate with authenticity. Keeping the human touch in a digital world, we anchor this transformative journey with a masterclass that unearths the common pitfalls and how you bypass them, gearing you towards a trajectory of success with attraction marketing that magnetically pulls the right people towards you. And you're not just learning, you're evolving, transforming from an entrepreneur to a maestro of marketing with strategies that are as heartfelt as they are smart. This is your time. Shape your future with knowledge that is grounded, holistic, and unequivocally you. Because your business is not just a venture, it's a vision. Make it magnetic, make it unbeatable, make it yours. Hey, Rhonda, no problem. So that would be for me kind of like an attraction marketing value proposition and how I would be unique to help support people and make a difference. All right, so we'll go for brand statements. So they are slightly different. Your brand statement's more about your brand, your unique positions about you. A concise declaration that communicates the unique value and purpose of your brand and to target your audience. It tells people who you are, what you offer, and what makes you unique. All right, so crafting your statement, identify your unique value proposition, know your audience, define your personal brand and brand personality. See how everything's kind of connecting together. Know your brand values. Hi, Wendy. Competitive analysis. Again, know your competitors, know what they're doing, know what they're succeeding at, know where they're struggling, and find that hole to support your customers and tell them why they should pick you. And sorry, these structure of your brand statement. So your brand name, which provides, and I have in brackets because that's what we're doing, product or service for your target audience, to the solution and the benefit, unlike your competitor, and what makes us unique and different. So I kind of created this one here for my challenge. You Are Enough Challenge provides a comprehensive attraction marketing and business systemization workshop for aspiring entrepreneurs and network marketers to successfully find and connect with their ideal customers while scaling their business effortlessly. Unlike typical online marketing, we offer an intimate, hands-on approach with a focus on actionable insights and personal growth, leveraging proven strategies from the ground up, emphasizing empathy, personal branding, and effective content creation. So that's the brand statement related to this challenge. So I wanted to kind of highlight, and I put in the brackets the areas and what they are. So we've got the brand name, we've got the product, which is the attraction marketing workshop. We've got our target audience, which is network marketers. We have our solution, which is to connect with ideal customers while scaling their business. Typical online marketing, like the 100 names list and the traditional, that's not working. And unique is a intimate, hands-on approach with actionable insights and personal growth. Okay, so that's a lot. So I wanted to kind of go through some samples with you guys. So here's Dewey Kreckerman. She's an AI business coach, and she uses a lot of these, like her visual elements, her red. She calls her group AI business warriors. So that's her audience are her warriors, and she talks a lot about AI, and she shares a lot of value related to AI and everything there. So a lot of reds, burgundies, golds. And again, her focus, her niche is on the AI side of it. She does a lot of I think she shared today, create 1 year's worth of content in 10 minutes, create an online course in 1 hour, create a video, and all that type of stuff, right? She's a really bright personality and very caring and supportive, and she helps anybody that she can. She offers a lot of free checklist guides, and she offers her slides to people and provides a lot of value for anyone that's coming to her. All right. So Rob, he is a mindset coach. He's the Mindset Mentor podcast. And again, he used a lot for his fonts, like this white, black, and yellow gold color font. And the lettering that he does is a lot of what he is about. He does a lot of posts that are motivational, mindset, affirmations, confirming good stuff. He does have himself in a lot of pictures as well, because again, we want to use ourselves as a branding part of it. His messages remain consistent, and he draws on life experiences and for helping other people. He has no problem being vulnerable and talking about his life, his family's life, which allows him to be authentic, to have people that connect with him. And he has a team to help support him on his social media. So he's engaging with his audience on a regular basis. Like very often I will comment on his posts and he responds back, or his team is responding back. And he collaborates with others and has a niche where he becomes the authority, and he shares his podcast. Like he's got thousands of episodes right now because he's built up his for quite some time. And this one is Denise. She's a money coach. So again, she does a lot with these blues. She does a lot of the navy blue. That font is the same style that she does very often. She's got herself in a lot of her pictures. She talks about she does a lot of affirmations. She does a lot of goal threads, and she's really wanting to help people to get through their money blocks. So she has a lot of this across all of hers, for her podcast, for her websites, for her courses, for her posts, Instagram, anything like that, and her reels. They've got a lot of this type of colors. And she's really chilled, laid back attitude, very cheeky. She shares a lot on her podcast. She's one of those people that she doesn't mind swearing or anything like that. And she does have a lot of these graphics that are very similar, that are oceany, because she's from Australia, a lot of beachy type of styles. Okay, so she's very down to earth. A lot of times her reels don't have her makeup or anything like that, because she's being authentic and real. And she allows people into her boot camp, and she leaves them in there for a long time, and they get the benefit of constantly being there in a tight-knit, supportive group. And I did one other one here, which is another life coach, which is Creating Waves. So they do a lot of these water, oceans, as well as this teal color. So they've kind of got that teal part of theirs. They share affirmations and motivational quotes very often on their pages, and they post on a regular basis to keep up their momentum in their groups. So I know one of the things that we do very often, and when we talk about content, is we share our products. So if anyone knows what business I do, then my product, like they can see the brand name on my products. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, I've been shifting a lot of my posts. So I don't actually include the brand, but I still include essential oil. So yesterday I posted about lavender oil. So even though I know the quality and I know my product, I wanted people to know about essential oil itself, not the brand, because anyone can Google the brand and all of a sudden go buy it from somebody else. And I've had someone do that. I've sampled them and I'm like, here's how I can support you. Here's oils. I kept checking up and following up with them. And I'm like, well, how did you like it? And then they're like, oh, I liked it, so I'm going to go buy it from someone else. Right. So all that energy, effort, and work went into them knowing the brand, Googling, going to the website, getting a random person, whatever the case is. So I didn't brand myself. I didn't prove why they should do me and not another random person. So I failed at that. And I learned my lesson from that part of it. So I kind of wanted to show this girl, Sarah. I can tell you, like, I think I've seen one post with one picture of essential oils, and she has both Young Living, she's got doTERRA, she has Revive. So I don't even know if it's her photo or what the case is, but all of her posts and all of her blogs show this. They're bottles without brands. They're labels without brands, right? They've got the different diffusers. So I can recognize some of the diffusers, but again, she shares her recipes, she shares her favorites, she shares her how-tos without actually sharing her products. And that's what we can do as well when we're sharing online. We don't want to share our brands. We want to share our products and how they support, because we want people to come to us and be like, well, what are you using? Like, what oil are you putting in there? Then we can have that conversation in a DM outside away, and you become the essential oil expert like Sarah, and people go to you for that knowledge as opposed to going online looking for that oil that you're using. Right. So it's hard for us to not post our products and brand names, but we want to brand ourselves because our company already does a great job of branding themselves. Everybody knows them. Everybody can Google and find stuff. And there's a lot of other people that are sharing all their, like, the brand products. So you want to share your value and why you are the one that they need to go to. So celebrities, again, I kind of figured if you guys didn't know who the coaches are that I picked out, and maybe you don't realize it, not aware of it, they may not be in your feeds because you've never actually gone through to follow them or anything like that. So I kind of picked out some celebrities. So JoJo, she was a dancer. She was known for the ponytail and the bows, and that's became her marketing, her branding. Obviously, Oprah was known for being very generous and giving in her personality. And Ramsey is really good for a Spitfire as a chef, right? Like, not very forgiving, very hard, and like constantly yelling. I remember seeing pictures. That's what you think of him as a person, right? So again, they all have brands, they all have marketing, and they all stand out and they make them unique and they help sell them as a person. And a lot of celebrities, movie stars, musicians, anybody, personalities standing, like talk show hosts and everything like that, they've all got something that brands them to make them stand out. But one of the biggest differences with celebrities is they do have larger platforms and they have their audiences, but as I talked about, their audiences are a lot less forgiving. If they make one mistake and say one topic or one thing, a lot of the audience give up and like turn on them right away, right? So we have a lot more of a forgiving audience for us. Their brand is to maintain a certain image in the public, which may or may not be authentic or true to themselves, and they adapt it to make sure their brand stays relevant. They use their personalities, different items, characters to promote their brands. Celebrities need to prove their authenticity all the time. Like, they have to prove they are a real person. They have to prove that they're authentic, whereas a lot of times they may not be necessarily relatable to everyone. So there's a lot of different challenging situations, but I just wanted to kind of share the fact that they also would brand and they become known for that specific thing that they do. All right, so actions that we're able to take, because I know we're a little bit over time, so hopefully we'll get this done quickly. Sorry about that. Take some time to figure out your core values, who you want to be on social media, because you create the narrative. Pick out your visual elements to help you stand out and build trust. You don't have to spend a lot of time doing it. Just pick out what resonates for you, what works, and what stands out. See what your audience picks, and then just kind of tweak and change as you go. Create your unique value selling proposition and brand statement. Find out what makes you special, what makes you you, and why people should pick you. What makes you different and stand out versus anyone else that does Pampered Chef or Sipology or Modere or Sensi or anything like that. Great. And share your personal story and your journey as well as your hobbies and interests. Do not forget the stuff that make you you, because that's what people are going to connect to with your brand. And share your products without sharing your products, so people learn about what you offer, learn about the value of the products. Because if they go and Google and they find somebody else, you did all the work and someone else is benefiting from you. So you want to make sure that they come to you because you are providing the solutions and support. Right. And reflect on what your competitors or your favorite brands are doing for more examples. I know Kimberly talked about Pinterest. Kelly mentioned looking for inspiration online. See what resonates, what really feels good to you, and test with that. Do a SWOT analysis or share into the Facebook group as well. So if you want to do your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, especially for your strengths and weaknesses, because again, you can build a team that your strength is amazing and you can do it, and your weakness, you can find someone else that has that as their strength and be able to work together as an unstoppable team, right? Because a lot of us do need to build teams, and we want to make sure we're getting the right people that resonate with us and that have the same values, because they're going to be more likely to be sustainable and do the work with us. What does this have to do with you? Sorry, for some reason my graphics are really slow today. Personal alignment and sustainability. So again, the biggest thing is to make sure that you have a better understanding of who you are as a person when it comes to your business and the values you have, and knowing that your business will eventually take on its own personality. It allows you to become more sustainable and do the business for a long term when you are doing it as you. So again, if you're trying to copy somebody else and you're trying to do exactly what they do, and that's not who you are not going to be able to do it as long and as effective and scale as well. So everyone that does amazing and are higher up in your company, higher ranks, do a lot better with their coaching businesses and everything like that, is because they're themselves. They branded themselves. They are themselves. It's easier to be you online than it is to be somebody else, right? And personal satisfaction and able to give more. So you can give more because you are not emptying yourself. You're not wasting energy on being something that you're not. Better connection with your audience. You are relatable and approachable by being consistent with your visual elements and your message. You don't feel like people aren't interested in what you are posting, because you're doing your interests, you're doing your hobbies, you're doing your stories, you're doing your personal branding, you've got your target audience. So these people that are listening and coming to you are going to be the people that want to hear those things, right? And your audience will also your audience will also understand your meaning, and you will attract like-minded people to grow and support each other. So you will attract like-minded customers that could turn into team business partners and everything like that, or they'll be the ones that share your products and share you because they like who you are, and they're like, oh, this person is incredible. I had someone do that yesterday for me. They tagged me, like someone's like, oh, who knows about essential oils? And this person that obviously is following me but it's never engaged with me related to essential oils tagged me. Right? They could have picked anybody and they picked me. So that was awesome, even though they've never sampled. And when I've commented through them about essential oils, they weren't interested. It's not their thing. So I don't pursue them, but they still know and they like me enough to share me to somebody else. All right. So today's homework or task is complete your visual brand template and core values. Really, for the core values, especially, again, personality quizzes are fun. You can go ahead and do a lot of those. But the biggest thing is to know your core value. Are you a team player? Is honesty and communication one of those big things for you? I'm very candid, and I like to have people who are candid back. If they can't commit or can't do something, I'd like for them to tell me and admit to their mistakes and everything like that. So I really resonate well with people that value those things as well, versus some other things that are not necessarily as important to me. So I'm not worried if someone does have that or don't have that, right? But communication is 100% my third strength, so it's really big and important to me. So again, that's knowing who your core values are. So we'll share those in the Facebook group. So again, we can learn who we are a bit better, learn what values, and just see if anything kind of, like resonates together, especially for you guys who came here to learn about this. Do we have similar values between you guys and myself as well? I'll be interested in learning that. I created this template. Again, this is just a small little template. I'll have a link. It's in your workbook to click on the link to create your own template on Canva. But you can also, I'll share it into the Facebook group as well. Mood board, you can put templates, put in elements, do whatever works, change, tweak, it's whatever you want to do. And again, the biggest thing is I want to say is you are enough. You can and will succeed at this business. You are going to do incredible. You have to be you. The biggest thing is you are enough. Don't copy somebody else. Don't do what someone else is doing. Do you. Learn who you are. Do you, because you are enough. You are going to get those people resonating with you, and you're going to build a tribe and connection and community. Will I have to be graphically creative? Oh, I know. Not for the template, Kimberly. It's fine. Like, this is more for the colors, the fonts, or elements. I love Canva. I love the element side of it because I put in something like, I'd be like business and it comes up with these pictures, or I'm like geometric shapes and then I find a lot of pictures. So a lot of that I find you can tweak, or you can create templates and displays. So tomorrow I'm going to go through ChatGPT and I'm going to show you how you can create, because I know Andrea had commented that she'd like to be able to do content a lot quicker. So I'll show you guys how to use AI, ChatGPT, to create 30 graphics in less than a couple of minutes, and be able to pull it from a template that someone had posted into Canva, right? So you don't even have to necessarily create your own graphics. You just grab what someone else has already done. I actually did that with the workbook. I knew I wanted to do workbook, so I grabbed a workbook, that template that someone else had completed, and I changed it to make it match me and to make it match what I'm looking for. So it's incredible. It's so good. And I can't wait to show you guys that tomorrow related to the content. So thank you for joining us today. I'm really sorry that I did take a little bit extra time, but tomorrow is about connecting them, building a foundational relationship with customers through quality content. Although we've talked about content when we talked about your customer avatar, we talked about it today with personal branding, and we're going to be talking about target audience and personal branding tomorrow content as well, because all of this is related together and it all needs to work together in order to become you. All right, so that is everything for my slide. Do you guys have any questions or anything that I can help you guys with? Yeah, no problem. Thank you for being here and asking questions and responding and everything like that. I appreciate it. I'm very excited. I will share my core values. There's a couple of different assessments that I've done before, but a lot of it's they give you a list and you kind of break them down to see what's important to you out of your list. So I will share that once I post about the homework, and you guys can do the same thing if you want to. Like, it's a really good group. I think it would be awesome to be able to support each other and like celebrate how we are, and it's interesting. Like when I did that strengths quiz, I found out a lot about myself. And first they said, oh, you're good at arranging people, where to put people in the different positions and stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm not really that great at that part of it. But then I also realized when I talked about merchandising for my work, I'm awesome at doing that. And I can really look at something and be able to pick and say where it looks the best, where it's going to make it easier for customer to resonate and respond with them, and to be able to put things into place. I know my boss, he came and he told me that he needs someone to give him a picture and he needs to follow the picture exactly item by item. He can't create something to make it look good. So everybody has their own strengths. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, well, this is awesome. This is why I do a lot of it for my business as well. So it kind of helps with different things. No, if you got time, I mean, if you have a question about content, Kimberly, certainly go ahead and we can talk about it now, just in case it doesn't come up tomorrow. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's everything. Thank you again so much. I'm very excited for tomorrow. You guys can still catch the replays. They are going to be available. It's regarding personal pages versus business page types. Okay, that's actually a good question. And that kind of goes back to a lot with algorithms as well. business pages, you don't get as much visibility on a business page as you do with your personal pages, because Facebook is really they believe in Facebook's algorithms, they think that organic marketing is kind of going down and that most people are going to get more money off of ads. So what they're doing is, if you're posting on a business page, they really want to push and promote ads. They want you to pay to do the advertising. So you might share something on your business page and you might get a couple of views, a couple of things or whatever it is. And you share the same thing on your personal and you'll probably get a lot more, because Facebook is also all about connections with family and friends. And pro tip, if you've got a team and you're wanting to build your audience and support yourself, comment on each other's posts, because then you're creating a conversation and then you're going to be able to get more visibility on your stuff. But yeah, business pages are good. But I would definitely, for first starting, for building an audience and engagement and everything like that, I would go with your personal pages. And in your VIP group, this here is in my VIP group right now. So that's where I'm going to do a lot of business tips. I'm going to do some tricks, and I talk about doTERRA, as well as I talk about self-love and well-being, because that's who I am. That's what I like for those three things. And I combine them together into my group because it works for me. And I'm going to have my audience and people sharing. So I do share stuff that says doTERRA in my VIP group. I share more personal stuff. I share more tips, and I share more engagement that I want to work on that way. And you have you build that community, you build the loyalty, and you get people supporting each other, answering questions, helping out, and you kind of do that within the groups. So it's more about connection, engagements, and building a tight-knit group. And then your personal page would be more like you're talking to your audience that you don't have, right? So your VIP group should be more focused on your current customers, the people that you have that you're supporting, answering those questions. And a lot of your personal page will be more about your customer avatar, more about your pain points, and talking to the people that you haven't gotten you haven't helped them yet. You haven't had that touch yet, if that answers your questions. Perfect. All right. And some people, again, leverage a lot of different areas and stuff as well, but you can take your personal page, put it into a content creator, and be able to get a lot of insights off of your content for that. And then building a following, especially Reels. A lot of my followers, because I hit that 1,000 mark, and I was able to get a lot of extra perks related to hitting it. And a lot of that came from Reels. So if you feel comfortable able to start doing Reels, I would suggest doing those, because those are super popular and they're very, very, very pushed. You'll get more people, and live videos. Facebook is really loving live videos. So you'll get more engagement, more visibility if you're doing live videos. All right. So thank you, everybody. I hope you guys have an incredible day, and I am looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, same time, and we'll be talking about content. So Kelly, because she's my strength for content, she's going to help. I've talked about it, and we're going to take turns, and she's going to share what she had done to set us up for our self-love coaching. Great. So have a good day, everybody. I'll see you guys later. And again, we'll post the homework. And if you have any questions, let me know.